All right, you guys, what's up? We are back and we are live. Welcome back to our weekly live feeds. As you're logging on, you have probably noticed something a little bit different. If you're on Instagram, you're still on Sean's Couture. If you're on YouTube, you see my new IG. So if you have not seen this post yet, we are rebranding. We are rebranding. This is something that I should have done a very, very long time ago. Just at the end of the day, I started this business over a decade ago and created it not knowing what it would become. And I feel like the name doesn't really describe what I do anymore. So we're rebranding. So if you have not followed my new Instagram yet, then you need to. It's Stage Ready by Sean right here on Instagram for the QR code if you need that, or you can just plug it into Instagram. The reason why I'm telling you all this tonight is because we are going to start doing lives over there. Okay. I'm still on my Instagram, my Sean's Couture Instagram live right now. But we are going to start moving everything from the Sean's Couture platform onto Stage Ready by Sean. So in general, nothing is changing other than we are just changing the actual website and the IG and all that kind of stuff. My YouTube channel is going to be the same. Everything's the same. The branding is just going to change. Just because I think this describes what I do a whole lot better. Basically, everything that I do helps you guys get stage ready. So it's Stage Ready by Sean. I think that fits. Really, really well. It's very, very simple. I can't tell you guys how many times I go places and they're like, what is Sean's Couture? What does that mean? People can't spell it. They can't find my website because they don't know how to spell my business name. So we're just changing it. So Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. It's something we've talked about for a very long time because it's the funny part about it is like as soon as people start coming into my brand, they don't know. Like I can't tell you how many times people have spelled my email address wrong or the website address wrong or something. Stage Ready by Sean is a whole lot easier. I can't tell you. Being on the phone and trying to tell somebody that your email address is Sean at Sean'sCoutureCuties.com. Do you know how many people have gotten that wrong? Oh my God, it's so hard. I don't know what I was thinking when I first started. But anyway, so if you're not following the new IG, make sure that you do because we're going to start going over there, doing everything over there. It's going to be the same exact thing. It's just the name. That's changing. That's it. So the name, the logo, and all that kind of stuff. So y'all are still gonna be my cuties. I don't care, right? Everybody always spells it wrong, and it's hilarious because when I first started the business, it was actually called Competition Couture. That was the name of it. All I did was suits. That was it. That's all I did was suits. And surprisingly enough, there was another company called Competition Couture in Sterling, Virginia, which is right near where I am. So I ended up getting a letter from them saying that I needed to change my name. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And that's where I came up with Sean's Couture Cuties. I literally put out like a poll on Facebook, and that's how it ended up becoming Sean's Couture Cuties was from that poll on Facebook. So it like my initial business name came from nothing. It came from literally nothing. like just, it was a Facebook poll. So, again, over the course of the last few years, it's like, this just fits. And again, our tagline, our promise is we get you stage ready from prep to presentation. So even these lives and the behind the bikini and everything that we do, that's all getting you ready for the stage. So everything fits into that moniker of Stage Ready by Sean. So that's the long and short of it right there. So if you're not following me on Stage Ready by Sean yet, please do, because like I said, over the course of the next few weeks, you're going to see everything start to transition and shift over to that platform. We're moving all the URLs and stuff like that now. Again, this YouTube channel is still going to be the same. It's not going to change. We're just going to change the name of it. So like you don't physically have to do anything different other than follow the new Instagram. That's it. That's all you got to do. Right? We'll have new merch. That'll be the fun part, right? New stuff from retail, right? So anyway, that's the long and short of that. Before I go too far into tonight's live, I want to shout out our partners like I always do, which is Prozis. Prozis is our partner for sports nutrition, everything you could possibly need, workout gear, products, services, all of that. and Liquid Sun Rayz, who is our tanning partner and has been our tanning partner since I started competing 15 years ago. So I wanted to give both of them a quick shout out tonight. Make sure that you use my links or my codes to get your discounts. If you can't get the QR code, grab it in the description box. From prep to stage to presentation to we have to keep that short. I think from prep to presentation covers everything, because I even have ladies who come to me who are, they don't even want to really compete, and then they decide that they want to do some of that kind of stuff. So they start out as lifestyle, and then they move into the competition zone, or they just they like bodybuilding, they like listening to the YouTube channel and things like that too. So I think it works even for them. So so it's fun times. All right, let's get rid of these because they take up too much space. There we go. Okie doke. So tonight we are going to wrap up this weekend's shows, and we are also going to preview this coming weekend's show at the same time, because we had 2 Bikini Pro shows to talk about this past weekend, which both of them were very interesting. So we're going to cover both of them. One was in Europe, one was here in the States. And I don't typically cover the European shows really in depth, but I thought this one was actually very interesting. Tyler was the head judge. So I'm very, very interested to go over all of this stuff with you. How can I contact you? So if you check the description box here on YouTube, you check the description box below of the video, all of my links and everything are right in there. That's how you can contact me right there. Okay. So we're going to go over the Empro, which is the one I was just mentioning. And we're going to also go over Dallas. Again, looking at photos, things like that from both of these shows were very, very interesting to look at. So I'm excited to kind of go through this stuff with you guys. And then previewing this coming weekend show is going to be very interesting too, because it's happening along with Junior Nationals, which doesn't happen here in the States at all. This is the first time I've done this, so this is exciting too. So we've got a few really fun things to go over tonight. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the Empro first. Let's pull that one up, this one. Okay, so here's the Empro right here. This is a big, big show. And it had a pretty deep lineup. You can see here's all bikini girls. Like, I don't even know how many girls that is, but that's a lot. That's a lot of bikini girls in this lineup. And the reason why I found this to be so interesting is because we have some bigger names that were in this lineup that did not do well. When you look at Stein Hansen, she has actually competed in the Olympia before, and she's outside the top 5. When we look at Christina Browner, sorry, I'm going to pronounce these names wrong, you guys. They're European names. I'm going to do my best, but it is what it is. She is qualified for the Olympia, I believe. I didn't even pull her up because she's 6th, but I think she's qualified for this year. Maybe not. No, she didn't compete. Okay, I thought she competed in the new year, and she hasn't. So she's not qualified for this year, but she did compete in the Olympia. So she is an Olympia athlete here. What? Okay, so for people that want to come on here and say stupid shit, you're getting blocked. Bye, blocked. Okay. Apparently we have somebody who likes to make up fake names and come on here and say it's all downhill after 25. You realize I'm going to block you every time that you do that? Bye. Bye. Okay, anyway. What the hell? I wish I could delete the comment, but I can't delete the comment. I can only block them. So add to block list. Bye. Okay, cool. They're blocked. Anyway. So, exactly. I don't understand. Like, why? Like, why? This is just stupid. Just stupid, man. Like, I'm going to block you every time. So keep coming back with a fake name. I'll keep blocking you. Cool? Cool. All right. And we had Allison in 4th place. We had Lisa in 3rd place. Lisa is qualified for the Olympia this year. And we have 2 people here that I'm not familiar with at all in the top 2. So I thought that was very, very interesting to see that. So we're going to go through their photos individually, but I'm also going to pull up the comparisons so that you guys can see what they looked like. And I was actually very, very impressed with this lineup. So this is Renata. Sorry. She's 5th. Is it Renata? I'm going to say it's Renata. That's what we're going to say. We're going to say it's Renata. Sorry, guys, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It is what it is. It is what it is. So really pretty look here. Now, I think that this pose is just a little bit off, and not because of her. I think it's off because of the camera angle. So when you look at these photos, all the photos are off to the side just a touch. So I think she's actually posing a little bit better, because when you look at the box, like, we're not dead on to the box, we're off by a little bit. So I think these poses actually look better in person than what we're seeing here, right? But this is a very clean look, right? Really well proportioned. I would say she probably needs to round that shoulder out a little bit. But again, I don't want to make too many assumptions here because of the camera angle. But nice and full. This is not a physique that's too hard, which we see a lot in Europe. And we don't see that here. Not a huge fan of the suit top. It just looks a little bit blah to me. Almost like it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't sit on her correctly. But we see a lot of that with these European suits. A lot of the European cuts are a little bit weird. So it's just a little off to me. Also not a huge fan of the red lips with the red suit. Just so you guys know, red lips, red suit, not a good idea. Just not a good idea. But in general, she's got a really nice round full physique that we're looking at here. And again, I'm not familiar with this girl, never seen her before. That's how a lot of these girls are here in these European shows, never seen them before. So this is my first time seeing them actually compete. And I have to say I was impressed with the girls in this lineup. They looked really, really good. So here's a back shot for you. I mean, again, nice and full. Her legs are a little bit overpowering in this shot. The lighting, I think this is good on conditioning. She might be a touch too hard. Can't really tell from this particular photo. Looks like she's got some etched in tie-ins, but also looks like it could be kind of soft. I think it's the lighting more than anything else here. But in general, this is a very good back pose. She's got some nice width in the shoulders. We can see the shoulders on the outside here. Hair is sitting right above her bikini line. All of that's good. I would say she's just a little bit leg heavy here. So, you know, in general, great look. Again, I don't know who she is. Never seen her before, but she definitely looks good. And then we have Allison in fourth. So Allison at this show, to me, was very, when we pull up the comparison shots, you're going to see she was quite a bit bigger than everybody else. Here we go. So it's a pretty full look in general on her, except for her shoulders and vascularity here. To me, that really stands out. Like there's a little bit of, it's almost too hard, too grainy in her shoulder. And it's just her shoulder. Like the rest of her looks good. She looks nice and full, all of that. Looks like she's got maybe a little bit of water retention in that lower back here. I'm not real sure. Again, just could just be the photo. But overall, not a bad look, except when we see her next to everybody else, you're going to see she's bigger and she's softer than everybody else. So on her own, she looks pretty good. Let's pull up a back shot to her. And this is where she's a little soft in the back. Now, again, when you look at her by herself, I don't think you would say that, but it's not until you see her next to everybody else. So you can see she clearly is quite a bit softer than the last girl we just had up that was in fifth place. And she beat the girl in fifth place. So I'm guessing that they liked this look a little bit better, right? But still, it's quite a bit soft here. To me, whenever I look at Allison's back shot, what I look at is she doesn't have this clear delineation from her glutes into her legs. Like there's not like glutes and legs. To me, it's like all one piece. And I think that's where she kind of drops off a little bit sometimes. So you know, in general, what I'd like to see her do is I'd like to see her just grow some more glutes so that we have that differentiation between her glutes and her legs, really. Her hair is too long. It's hitting the top of her glutes here. So she does need to trim her hair or curl it or something to get it up off the top of her glutes. And she's pinching in her back here as well. She's got some pinching going on with her scapula here. So not a bad showing for her, but clearly not one of her best looks either. And then we have Lisa took fourth in New York. She did just win a show in Europe. The thing with Lisa, I'm not a fan of this look as far as her suit and her posing and her hair and makeup and all that stuff. She's done this same look for each show, really. Actually, Tyler critiqued her on this about her look in New York. This particular show, she looks a little bit blocky to me. I think a lot of that's her posing. So I think that she really needs to work on finding the right poses and updating her posing, but also updating her suit style and her makeup. To me, this makeup just looks, it's like dark eyes and red lips. It's like 1990 to early 2000s. Like it's not updated, right? It's very, very outdated. So she just needs to update a lot of this stuff, right? Just needs to update her overall look. And again, she tends to be a little bit more on the dense side, a little bit more on the muscular side, a little bit too conditioned sometimes. And Tyler has mentioned this about her as well, like in his wrap up of New York. So she needs to work on kind of getting that in line. And since he was here as the head judge at this show, I'm guessing he probably penalized her for that too, because she brought the same stuff that he critiqued her on, really. Then we have Ruki. I'm sorry, I pronounced the name wrong. Beautiful girl. Again, not familiar with her at all. Not seen her before. Let's see if we got a better one. She's got a very, very good frame. Like tight little waist, goes out nice V into the shoulders, nice V into the glutes and legs. This is a beautiful, beautiful shape, right? She's nice and full, nice and round. Looking at her look, like her makeup, her suit, all this stuff, this is more in line with the standards than what we were just talking about with Lisa. Type into the comments, tell me, can you see what I'm talking about when we're talking about the updated style? As far as her hair and makeup is concerned, as far as her suit is concerned, this is a more in line with the criteria kind of look than what we just saw on Lisa, right? Yeah, it's very noticeable when you see the two different types of looks next to each other. It's really, really noticeable which one is up to date and which one is not, right? Yeah, Lisa's whole look to me just looks like it belonged in Bikini 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about her shape. I'm talking about her hair, makeup, and suit, right? So here's back shot for Riki. Again, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I apologize. But this is a beautiful back shot too. So again, when we're looking at her conditioning, she's just a little bit tighter than Allison was, but she's not as tight. Oh, did I not pull up a back shot of Lisa? I think I forgot to pull up a back shot of Lisa. I'll pull that up next. Sorry, I forgot to do that. But this is a really, really good conditioning right here. Like we're seeing the tie-in, but it's not super etched in, right? It's not as etched in as the fifth place girl. Upper body, she could be open more, right? She's pinching here, which is closing her off from the back. If she opened this up a little bit more up top, she'd look a lot better because her waistline from the back isn't super thin. It's a little bit on the thicker side. And because she's closed off up top, that doesn't help her here. She needs to open this up. Delts look fine, but she needs to relax and open up the upper back there. Yeah, I think I forgot to pull up a back shot of Lisa. So let me do that real quick before we move on. I was talking about her cheeks and her hair and makeup, and I forgot to find a back shot. Here we go. So here's a back shot for Lisa. So same situation here. She's pinching in her upper back. She just needs to bring those the elbows down a little bit. That would open up and relax that upper back for her. This is a pretty good conditioning look from her as well. Nice and full and round on the glutes. Hair is just a touch too long here and it's a little messy. Again, going back to her presentation in general, she just needs to redo her presentation look, right? But again, when we look at the hamstrings here, she's got the tie-in, but it's not super etched, right? She's not super lean. She's got a lot of fullness going on, which is great, right? So she just needs to fix that pose a little bit. Again, a lot of her issues have to do with her presentation more than anything else. All right, and then we have Antonia. Sure. Antonia won this. She has a fantastic shape. Again, I'm not familiar with her at all. Let me see. She competed the Poland Pro last year. So she's only competed a couple times as a pro, at least that we have on record here. That's the other thing too. We don't know. Sometimes with these European girls, we don't have full records of what they've done as far as their competition history is concerned. Let me find a good front shot for her first. I think that's a good one right there. Well, not really. Now, the one thing I wasn't happy about with her front pose, and you'll see it immediately when we pull this up, is her vacuum in the front. It's really overdone. So I'm guessing that she probably got critiqued on that. But see what I'm talking about? Like, she's collapsing in here. That's not a good look right there. She needs to relax that. But in general, her shape is beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shape, right? And I love the green on blondes. So not a lot of blondes do green. You need to. Green on blondes is phenomenal on stage. It really is. This is a great shape. She's nice and full. She's got great conditioning, all of that. The only thing, like I said, I'm not a fan of this sunken in, and she's doing like a vacuum here, right? Now, I would also say she probably needs to tighten her suit top up a little bit. It looks like it's just a little loose, so I would just tighten up the top a little, and that would probably look a little bit better on her top. Let's flip her to the back. And again, she's pinching a little bit here. Let's see if that's just an in-between. No, she's still pinching. So I would still open up. See, I noticed this even in the comparisons. She can definitely work on this back pose. She's not arching enough here in the back pose, and she's pinching a bit in the upper back here as well, right? Now, my thought process behind why she's not arching more here is because if she does that, she's probably going to pull these hamstrings too tight. They're already pretty tight. Like, she's pretty conditioned here. So I'm thinking she's probably doing this on purpose. If she was to push any harder here, we're going to pull this even tighter, and it's going to look really etched in. So I'm guessing this was probably a posing adjustment because of her conditioning at the show. I still would relax up here more. I think she needs to just pull the arms down and let that back open up a little bit. But in general, this is a really good shape. And if this is what she did in order to relax so that she doesn't have a super etched in, then you do what you got to do, right? Probably bring the conditioning down a little bit next time. It should be all right. Now notice also, I just want to point this out. She doesn't have a super tiny cut up here on top, and she still won the show, okay? The key with your back cut on your bikini is that you need it to just frame your glutes correctly right here, right? And right here. So as long as it's doing that, the judges are seeing the right view. So that's why I hate the T-back cut so much that we see sometimes, because it doesn't do that. This does, right? It frames the glutes correctly. So it's a good cut. Let's find some comparison shots real quick. So I'm just going to pull up some of the top 4 so you guys can see the difference in their shapes next to each other. Okay, so this is your top 4 right here. When you're looking at this, I mean, to me, clearly your 2 in the center, they just have the best overall bikini shape. They are not the biggest girls on stage. Now, I believe she probably got knocked down a little bit because her legs are a little bit thicker. Her waistline's a little bit thicker. This is a very, very good, like, S shape that we see right here, right? And then when we see Allison out here on the side, she's clearly more muscular, especially her glutes and legs. She's clearly more muscular. She's bigger. And she just looks a little bit soft, right? Lisa, again, density. Look at this density in her quad. A lot of density in her quad right here. And this pose, she's got to fix her posing. Her posing is just really, she's posing way too straight on. And she was doing this in New York. I saw her in person in New York. She's doing this in New York as well. It's not flattering. And also, look at her, again, look at her makeup. Look at her makeup in comparison to the other girls on stage. These 3 girls here have more updated looks versus Lisa's, okay? That matters at this level. That absolutely matters at this level. And I'm not sure why Lisa doesn't change it, because I know that she's been critiqued on that. I mean, Tyler said it in his video, wrapping up New York. So, okay, here they are from the back. Now here, again, you can clearly see that Allison is too soft, right? She's got a layer of water on her or something like that. But what I will say about Allison is that she has the best upper body look when it comes to her back pose. She's nice and open here. We see that width. and her lower back is nice and tight, but she needs to cut her hair too. Okay. Second here, as far as the upper body is concerned, is your winner right here. And again, I'm blanking on their names because they're brand new. There's these girls I'm not familiar with them. Antonia, is that right? Yeah, Antonia. So Antonia's second as far as how good her upper body is in her back pose. And now also when you look at her here, now clearly when she was standing by herself, it didn't look like she was arching very hard. Here when she's next to everybody else, she looks fine. You know, she looks good in her arch, right? So I don't necessarily think that she's arching much harder here than she was when she was by herself. She just looks like she's standing there, just like normal, right? And then your girl here in the second, Rihanna, whatever. Again, sorry, names are escaping me. Pulling it up. Ruki. Sorry, guys, I don't know how to pronounce the name at all, and I apologize. Rukia. I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody tell me how to pronounce her name and I'll do it. You can see she's just a little bit bottom heavy here in comparison to the other girls, right? On her own, she looks great. But again, you can still tell when she's on her own, she's got a little bit more mass on her lower body than she does her upper. And I actually think that if she posed a little bit bigger on top, like we talked about, that would actually help balance her. So she just, I would say, probably needs to pull this down a little bit and then open up a little bit in her upper back. And then when you look at Lisa, again, her pose. I don't understand this pose. This pose. I don't get it. Lisa, posing. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So, and there's another shot. She was not just in like her transition shot or anything like that. That is her actual back pose. Yes, her elbows are out way too far. She's just, I don't know. She just needs to, whoever's her presentation coach or whatever, you need to get a new one. Get somebody else to do your posing. Get somebody else to do your hair and makeup. Okay. And your suit. Get somebody else to do your suit. All of them. Throw it all away. Sorry, but you got a better look than what you're showing. It's just the truth. So that was the Empro, which I thought was a very, very good show, actually, for European competitors. So I honestly didn't look at any of the other competitors beyond fifth place, so I'm not going to say if I was surprised that she beat them out or not. You know, and clearly we're only going by photos too, so a lot of things happen in person that you don't see through photos. So I don't want to make that assumption that she shouldn't have been in that place, right? So there's just, for her, it's more presentation than anything else that just needs to improve. So, and the density. I mean, she's got dense quads too, but that'll come over time too. So we're gonna look at Dallas now. Now this was a big shock, you guys, obviously, because Ashley Kaltwasser did not win this show. She came in second. And markedly so. I mean, there was only a point difference between second and third. Kate won this hands down. So that was interesting to me. Everybody was shocked, I think, when we saw that. We're going to go through their individual photos. But before we do that, I'm going to show you their comparison photos because I think that just tells you straight up why this happened the way that it did. So I think this is the top four here. Nope, it's not. Let me get a first call out photo. Here we go. Okay, so here's your first call out. Kate is in the center. Ashley came in second. I forget who came in third. What was her name? Hold on. Find it. Raina came in third. Jessica came in fourth. Jordan came in fifth. So Jordan's in the red right here. So she actually came in fifth. So they moved these two girls. But clearly, when you look at this photo right here, Ashley is the biggest girl on this stage, other than Jordan in this particular shot. But Jordan was way too hard as far as her conditioning is concerned. We'll look at that in a second. But when we're looking at muscularity, Ashley was the biggest girl on stage. And, you know, I watched her lives and all that kind of stuff, talking about how they told her she was a little bit too full. And I would agree with that. For this lineup, she was. Let's find a back shot. Here we go. So there's Ashley in the center. Kate's on her right. What do you guys see here? Type it in the comments. What do you see? Let's just make it bigger. I think that just made it bigger, didn't it? A little bit. Yeah, there you go. Type it in the comments. Tell me what you see here with this lineup. What do you notice? Anybody got anything? I'm waiting. I know that the comments are behind a little bit. Ashley and Adam have been experimenting with the fully look. Didn't work for the show. Her hair is too long. Yeah, Ashley's hair is too long. That's not what I was looking at, but yeah, it is. It is. It's a little bit too long. But so is the girl next to her too. What else? Anybody else got anything? So again, watching her wrap-ups and stuff, she said her feedback was she was too full. And I would agree. In this lineup, she is absolutely too full in this lineup. Now, I don't necessarily know if that would be the same next to other people, but she is the thickest one on the stage. Yes, she's very full and she looks very thick. Next to these other girls, she almost looks like she's a little bit out of shape. She's not out of shape, but that's almost what it looks like because she is so full next to these other girls, right? You know, my eye goes directly to her because she's bigger. And being the odd man out is not a good thing in a lineup. We've talked about this before. You've got apples and oranges. And if everybody's an orange and you're an apple, that's not a good thing, right? Now, I'll also say that Jordan sticks out in this lineup here too, in the red on the left. Too hard, too big, too muscular, right? Ashley, on the other hand, is not too hard. She's just too full, right? So the two of them, to me, look like the oddballs in this lineup. They look like the oddballs in this lineup, right? So let's go through each one of their photos for the top 5. So Jordan has won this show the last 2 years in a row. This has been her show. She won it. It was her pro debut. I actually competed in it myself. She won it that year. It was her pro debut. She tends to be very conditioned. Jordan does. In this particular show, she was still very conditioned, but she was also very muscular too, which was too much for this lineup. In general, it's just too much for Bikini. She needs to pull it down quite a bit. She's a beautiful girl. Obviously a beautiful girl. But to me, when I look at this, I see like a thicker waistline. Her conditioning is over the top. We see that separation in her glutes and everything right here too, right? And into her quads and all of that. She's got to bring this conditioning down a little bit, and she's got to bring the muscularity down a little bit too. She's got vascularity going through her arms here. Those shoulders just popping way too much, right? She's just too big. So she's got to pull it back, got to pull it down a little bit. And again, this lineup was not big. Obviously Ashley was the biggest girl on the stage as far as fullness is concerned. So that tells you something. This was not a lineup full of girls that were big muscular wise. When we look at her back shot here, again, she's not fully posed here. Let's see if we can get a fully posed one. The other one, she's going through her. I don't think we have a fully posed. No. Okay, so we'll stay here. She's pretty close. This is way too tight in the conditioning. Now she's not even fully arched into this. She's moving still. But this roped hamstring is way, way, way too tight, right? So she just needs to bring that conditioning down, and she needs to bring the muscularity down again. So going back to it, yeah, she's got a gorgeous shape and she's a beautiful girl. But this muscularity and the conditioning is too much. It's just too much for Bikini. So she's got to bring it down. Overall look is beautiful. Love the hair and makeup. Love the suit. Love the overall look. She just needs to pull that. She needs to pull that muscularity and the conditioning down quite a bit. Then we have Jessica. So Jessica just competed in DC Pro-Am, and she didn't place. She was in second call out, I believe. She's been to the Olympia in the past, I also believe. This was definitely a better look for her than DC. I will give her that for sure. I remember watching her in DC and just thinking nothing really popped on her. Her makeup was kind of flat. Her look was her overall look was just a little flat in DC. This is absolutely a better look for her. From the front, to me, I feel like she needs to be a little bit better conditioned from the front. Like we're just seeing a little bit of wateriness in the legs. Beautiful shape, like the suit color, all of that. I think she pops quite a bit on this in this look. But I just feel like this looks a little bit watery to me, almost like she's got a film on her. So it's possible that I remember Dallas when I competed there, it was extremely humid. That could be part of it. Who knows? Maybe she's just holding a little water because the actual temperature of the city. Oh, hold on. You go to back shot. Skipping everybody's back shots today. What's wrong with me? Let me find a back shot. Here we go. So her back shot, she is really overarching here. She needs to just stand up a little taller and relax these arms down. This is a pretty good shot. You know, she just needs to relax it a little bit. So in general, just bring the arms down so that we don't have those elbows poking out. She's squatting into it a little bit and she's arching too much. So she just needs to relax this a little. She's got beautiful glutes, nice tight. She's nice and tight from the back. You know, from the front, like I said, she looked a little bit watery in her quads there, not from the back. From the back, she looks fine. She's got a little bit of an imbalance here in her hamstrings. That could be from training, that could be from posing, that could be the way she's standing right here. It could be, you know, in between pose kind of thing. She's got a little bit of an imbalance. Yeah, even when she's posed, this is posed a little bit harder and she's still a little bit imbalanced. So she needs to just kind of probably push a little bit more weight onto her right leg would fix that. I think she's got too much weight on her left, which would make sense because she poses on her left side in the front. So, you know, that makes sense. So she just needs to fix that imbalance a little bit. I would trim the hair a touch. Maybe get a little bit fuller in the hair. The hair is very, very thin. So I would trim it and just add like a weft of hair extensions to thicken it out a little bit. But overall, not a bad look. Not a bad look at all. Definitely better than what she put on stage in DC for sure. Absolutely better. Then we have Raina, who came in third. And again, there was only 1 point difference between her and Ashley. So this really was Kate's show, right? Okay, so in general, what I would do is fix this front pose. I think she needs to twist it a little bit more. I think she needs to relax it a little bit more. She looks very bottom heavy in this particular show. I'm not a huge fan of this color either. I just on her skin tone, I think she needs to have a little bit more of a cooler tone. Like she's got a little bit of yellow undertone to her skin. So I would probably pop it a little bit with more of a cool blue versus this greenish kind of color. So just some tweaks on the presentation. Maybe pump the hair up a little bit, pump the glam up a little bit. Just again, little things to make her amplify this look a little bit. It's not bad. It's just not pow, right? We need some pow from this look. And I'm not getting pow from this look. I'm getting a little bit imbalanced and a little bit meh with the presentation stuff, right? Back shot. So again, great back shot, great conditioning. She's got tie-ins, not super tight though. Fullness, she could probably be a little bit fuller in the back from the glutes, which is interesting because from the front she looked so lower body dominant from the front. In the back, not at all. In the back, she looks pretty balanced from top to bottom. Upper body looks great in this pose. Upper body looks great. Stay right there. I would probably just try to work on adding more projection to the glutes, upper, outer, pop out, right? So overall, not a bad look though. This is a very good pose. And again, same thing, cut the hair just a touch. It's okay. But I would still, if you have it hitting the bikini line at all, cut it, right? So cut it just a touch. And the same thing I said about Jessica too, add a weft of hair extensions in there just to thicken this up a little bit, right? She does. She looks very balanced from the back. She didn't look balanced at all from the front. So that tells me it's posing quite a bit from the front. From the back, she looks great. From From the back, she looks really balanced. So I would just work on, again, just adding some more projection to the glutes. But this is pretty good. And now let's go to Ashley. Okay, so she's at the back of the stage in this one. Let me see if I can get one where she's at the front. Let me pull up a different picture. Sorry, she's at the back of the stage. I thought she was in the box. She's not. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's better. So, two things. One thing that I usually point out with Ashley when she's a little bit too full is she tends to have a little bit of lower back water back here, which she doesn't have any of that here in this shot. So that tells me she's not over the line as far as pushing her fullness, right? Sometimes I've seen her just be a little bit watery back here and she's not. So she's good. And actually we see some tightness through her shoulder here that sometimes I see a little bit of wateriness here. We don't see wateriness there at all. So to me, she's in shape. She just pushed her fullness to the max here. And where we see the reason why I think she just pushed her fullness to the max too is in the lower abs. The lower abs are still a little bit distended. So to me, this is always something I look at right here. And she tends to be distended here when she gets too full. So I think that was part of it right here. That kind of was that indicator she's too full, right? She's too full for her. She's too full for this show. Someone has cool undertones, best go cooler, clear student makeup. No. So I'm just answering your question, Jess. No, it's the opposite actually. So tan looks good. Pose looks okay. I still would like to see her twist more in her front pose. I've always said that. I want to see more twist here. But I think she doesn't twist because of the lower ab distension. So it's like, I think she does that on purpose. So there's just little things I'd like to see here, but I think she did push the fullness a little bit too far because we can see it here in the lower abs. And let's find a back pose. Okay, here's back pose. She's actually got a little bit of imbalance in her back pose. And this is, again, because of her front pose. She's done what? She said, I think she said six shows in 8 weeks or something like that. So you can see she's got a tilt in her hips. She's tight through here. This is all from her front pose. This is her front pose side right here. So whenever you see this tightness, that's usually because that's the pose. That's the side that they pose on in the front. And that's the side she poses on in the front. Her hair is too long. This is that wig again where it's the straight wig and it's just hitting the top of her suit. And the fullness, again, I don't necessarily think this is a bad look, but when I look at it, I like to see her a little bit, like she likes to say crispy. I like to see her a little bit crispier. This to me looks a little bit watery. It looks like she pushed it a little bit too far with the fullness. I would agree with the judging feedback that she was too full in this show. I just see that layer of inflammation almost over top. So I do think she went too far with this. You know, her glutes are always phenomenal, but when she starts pushing a little bit too far, that's what we see. We see that wateryness, and that's what I'm seeing in the photos. So Kate came out and beat Ashley, which congratulations, because she's come in second to Ashley like 3 times this year already. I was actually there in Hawaii when she came in second to her in Hawaii. So great look, great balance, stunning. Like when you saw her individual, she came out on stage with that presence of just like, she's just here. She's, you know, you got to look at her, all of that. What I would say, she probably needs a little bit more fullness in her shoulder. This is tighter than I've seen her this year so far. She has been a little bit fuller. Clearly coming in a little bit tighter worked for her at this show. If she came in fuller at this show, maybe she wouldn't have won it. Who knows? So coming in a little bit tighter here did work for her. I do love her front pose and her balance here. I don't love her suit top. I still said the same thing. I want the suit top to be a little bit smaller. I think it kind of overtakes her frame. Her upper body is a little bit small. So to me, this top just kind of overwhelms her a little bit. I just want to see it a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller on her. And I'd like to see a little bit more pop in her shoulders. A full back shot, if we got one. Oh, here we go. We got a full back shot. And again, this is probably the tightest that I've seen her from the back this year. I still think she needs more glutes. I think sure her legs are a little bit thicker than her glutes, but I think the fact that she came in tighter for her worked really well. Worked really, really well for her. Again, she's not too tight, but for her frame coming in just a little bit tighter here, a little bit more conditioned, I think just brought all of her lines in correctly. Her hair is a touch too long. Again, same thing that I've said about all these girls. They need to trim it just a little bit, just a little. She's also pushing into this pose quite a bit too. So maybe if she stood up a little taller, then the hair wouldn't be an issue. Or if she pulled the suit bottom down a little bit, I think it's a little high. It needs to come down just a touch, and then I think her hair would be okay. But in general, this was a great look for it. I do think this has been her best look so far this year. So I 100% agree with this win. I'm happy for her. Again, going back to, she's come in second to Ashley like 3 times this year. So it's nice to come in and actually win one, right? So congratulations to her and getting that Olympia qualification. Now, let's briefly go through and preview this weekend's show, which is the World Clash Pro Bikini. Now, this is going to be a crazy show because it's not a full competitor list. Because when Junior Nationals is done, the girls that win their pro card there can go into this show if they want to. So we could have somebody potentially win their pro card at Junior Nationals, walk into this show and win this pro show. That's absolutely a possibility. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Just going to be honest. It's probably not going to happen because we got some heavy hitters in this show. Now, nobody here is qualified for the Olympia, but there's a bunch of, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Maxine is qualified. I take that back. Maxine is qualified. But a lot of these girls are knocking at the door. Okay, so we just talked about Reina. Reina's from Mexico. She just competed in Dallas. We just talked about her, so I didn't pull her up on here, but we did talk about her. Then we've got Masa, who just took second in DC. Okay, so she's coming out, obviously wanting to get her pro card or pro win to get to the Olympia. We got Yulia, who took third in DC. We've got Ashley, who's taken fourth in Charlotte. We've got Maxine, who is qualified. Maxine won her Olympic qualification in Toronto, right? I don't know if Reina. I'll look at Reina. I had her up a second ago. I'll look her up. We have Sierra, who again is placed second twice to Ashley, and then we have Jody, who has not been on stage since the Olympia in 2022. From what she's been posting on Instagram, she looks phenomenal. It'll be interesting to see what she looks like on stage. We have not seen her on stage in a while, so it's going to be interesting to see what she brings to the stage. But she's a previous Olympian, so she's absolutely one to be paying attention to. Let me pull up. Oh, it's the wrong show. Let me see. Did Reina win something? If Reina did win something, it's not on NPC News Online. She was in Pittsburgh, placed 12th in Pittsburgh, and then she did Dallas this year. So it could be that she has something under a different name on NPC News, but I don't see under this spelling of her name, she's not qualified. So if you see a different spelling of her name or something like that, then maybe she does have it. But according to this, she's not. Yeah, I don't think she is. I don't know, to be honest. From what I'm seeing on NPC News, she's not. But I could be wrong on that if they spelled her name wrong or something like that. But yeah, so anyway, so this is going to be a hell of a show, right? Because again, it still would be cool regardless to see somebody that, just wins their pro card. And Kelby, good luck. She's competing. She's here on the live tonight. She's going to be competing for her pro card this coming weekend. So give her a big shout out. It could be really fun to see somebody that wins their pro card at least get into that top call out, right? And somebody here, unless it's Maxine, which is very possible because Maxine looks phenomenal. We just talked about her last week. Somebody new is going to qualify for the Olympia unless Maxine wins it, which is very possible. So, this is going to be a very interesting show. I just wanted to throw this one in here because there are so many things that are question marks on this particular show going into the weekend, because it could be a brand new pro that we're talking about at the end of all of this, right? It could be a brand new pro. Is there anybody else on the list that I missed? So I said Masa, I said Yulia, I said Ashley, Raina, Maxine, Sierra, and Jody. Oh, we're definitely seeing some really, really good talent coming up, 100%. Some really good, phenomenal athletes coming into the pro league right now. There's no hierarchy, right? Meaning, if you look good, you're gonna get rewarded. I mean, that's why I talked about the Empro, because that girl came out of nowhere. Antonia came out of nowhere and won that. I've never seen her before. And there was 30 some odd girls in that show. So yeah, it's anybody's game. If you show up looking good, you're gonna get rewarded. You're gonna get rewarded if you show up according to the criteria, right? So if I had to guess, I think we're gonna see a first call out that includes Masa, Yulia, we'll put Ashley in there too. Maxine. I don't know. They're probably gonna have an 8-girl call out. So they always do these eight first call outs. So let's just say everybody that I said. plus we'll throw in a new pro. Maybe we'll have a new pro that gets into that first call out, right? That'd be fun. That'd be fun to see a new pro come out and do something on the pro stage, right? Anything that anybody wanted to add? They want to give a shout out to somebody maybe that's competing at junior nationals that could be a potential going into this? Maybe someone we should be paying attention to. Obviously we should be paying attention to Kelby here. Clearly we should be paying attention to Kelby. Anybody else? Throw out the names if there's anybody. Yeah, Olympia is going to be fun. It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game, which is really fun. I love that when we have these shows where we go into it and it could literally be anybody on that list. So, well, there's Holly Baxter is competing. I know a lot of people have been talking about her. But other than that, I don't know anybody else. We got a lot of girls doing Universe in a couple of weeks, but I don't know about junior nationals. Yeah, and Kelby, of course. While we're all sitting here, Cameron Krieger. I'm not familiar with Cameron, but go ahead and shout him out. While we're sitting here, for those of you that are logging on now, missed at the beginning, I am rebranding my whole business. So if you're not following me on my new Instagram yet, you need to be, because I'm going to start doing lives on there versus what I'm doing right now. I've got my Instagram rolling right now on Sean's Couture. This channel is not changing. So everything is staying the same. The platforms are all staying the same. We're just changing the name of all the platforms, right? So you guys don't have to do anything different. The only thing that you guys need to do is follow my new IG. That's the only thing that you have to do different. Everything else is gonna be the same. You're gonna start seeing names change, basically. Awesome. Well, good luck. Thank you. All right. Well, this is gonna be a fun weekend. I'm excited to see how this all plays out this weekend. I'll be here, serving my clients here from home, because then we got Universe in a couple of weeks. I'll be there in person. We are going to do a Behind the Bikini on Thursday. For those of you that are Backstage Pass members, we have our first Zoom special guest tomorrow with Jamie D. Bernard, so make sure you're on there for that. There is a live stream. I believe they have it on their website. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but there is a live stream. What else? What else? I feel like I just forgot something. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. We'll be back on live again next week. But like I said, if you're a Backstage Pass member, remember we've got our live with Jamie tomorrow. I think that's it. I gotta go because I still have to do 15 minutes of cardio. I got 15 minutes left. So I did most of it. I gotta do more. Gotta go finish it off. So hope you guys have a great evening. This season is getting really fun. I love it when it's interesting and it's different. We're seeing new girls pop out of nowhere, which is a lot of fun. Follow me, Stage Ready by Sean. That is what we are changing everything over to. So just be paying attention. You'll see that start moving into that direction. And we'll be back here again for Behind the Bikini on Thursday. So I am, as of Thursday, I will be 12 weeks out on Thursday. So it'll be 12 weeks out. So I'm not very deep, but I'm like less than 10 pounds away from stage weight at this point. So it's been cruising. So thank you. Yes, like I've said before at the beginning of this, I think the Stage Ready by Sean just tells people a little bit better what I do versus Sean's Couture Cuties. I said the whole story at the beginning of this. So if you missed the beginning of the live, when this goes back on the replay, go back and watch it. Yeah. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be back again live next week.